What's up, YouTube? I have an awesome live stream that I did in my high ticket sales Facebook group recently where I was covering how you can actually get 50 to 100% commissions. Yes, 50 to 100% commissions off of high ticket sales if you are in any type of sales or closing position. And by the way, check this out, this awesome custom print Tom Brady photo done by these two brothers who are local artists here in Florida. An amazing job. I got this as a birthday gift for my girlfriend, so the goat himself. But I wanted to share the live stream training with you guys today here on the channel. If you guys enjoy the live stream training, I'll also put a link below in the description so you guys can check out the high ticket sales Facebook group where I do trainings like this all the time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So awesome. Welcome. So for everyone that is in the high ticket sales Facebook group, I did a training last night, and it was just kind of exclusive. I only had a few people from our sales team and also some other people who were invited on Zoom. And we did things like breaking down some sales calls. And I covered this training. And there was one specific topic that I ended up bringing up during the training that I wanted to share with you guys here in the group that I think is going to be very, very valuable. And it's also very important, right? And the topic was how to get 50 to 100% commission off of high ticket sales. And that's a very, very large amount of commissions in this industry, right? And I feel like nobody's talking about it, and it's very, very important. So why is this important? Because whether you have your own business or if you're in a sales position or you're quote unquote closer, right? You're trying to close and earn commissions and enter full-time living, right? You're going to want to always elevate yourself in your career, right? Industry standard of what most people get paid for a closing position is typically anywhere from like 10 to 12 to sometimes 15%, right? Now, if you're doing things like outbound, like I've ran sales teams for multiple 8-figure influencers to where they had courses that were selling for like 2,000. So 1K to 2K price point. And because it was so like low ticket, I don't consider 1,000 to 2,000 high ticket at all, right? Just for doing outbound, like our reps would earn anywhere from 25 to 35% commission. Because if you do the math off of 2K, it's only like 500 bucks. So definitely for doing something like outbound, we wanted the amount of effort to reward them getting paid like $500. Otherwise it'd be pointless of doing only 10% of something that's low ticket. But for the sake of this, I want to talk about this for the case of high ticket, right? Of having the skills to be able to earn something as high as 50 to 100% commission, right? And this came up because somebody actually asked me that before. They were like, what's the most amount that you've ever like earned in terms of commission? I'm like, well, I mean, the highest I've ever gotten was like 100% of the sale. And they looked at me confused and they're like, 100%, why would anyone pay you 100%? I was like, which drives into why I thought this would be a really good topic for everybody here. So here's what's interesting, right? In the high ticket world of building a business and being in a position of sales and earning a commission, right? We go into it, and I feel like the industry has put the term closer, right? Closer on a pedestal, right? We put closing here as like, yes, I'm in high ticket sales. I'm a closer. I'm a high ticket closer, whatever. But in reality, if you look at the term closer and what it is and what people out there are sold on in the industry, when I hear closer, what I know other people perceive it as is, okay, I want to be in a position where I'm partnering with a company. This company is expected to provide me with leads, provide me with inbound appointments, provide me with people who are quality, right? Through things of like marketing and showing up to my calendar, right? That's what people think of when they hear the term closer, like period, right? But the reality is, and this may be a hard pill for a lot of you here in the group to swallow, and I know it's going to probably piss a lot of you off, but it's okay. It is what it is. Closers are actually the bottom of the barrel, of the pedestal. Why? Why are they at the bottom and not at the top? Because literally the only skill that they have is that one skill is, okay, if people come on my calendar, I need to focus on getting better and increase my closing rate, and that's it. Right. But here's the downside of that. What people don't talk about is if you're in position, your main focus, and let's call it what it is, you're an order taker. like literally, if you really feel like to be valuable to a business and to be a valuable asset to an influencer or a company, and especially in high ticket sales, and the most capability that you have is to expect stuff to show up on your calendar and only close deals, that's not as valuable as an asset as the other tiers above closer, which I'm going to explain what those three are. So there's kind of three layers to this. But so the bottom layer, right, is closer. These are people who will earn only 10 to 12% to 15%, right? People that close deals on our team right now, it's high, they can earn a bump of 15%, but I'm talking like high ticket, right? We have very, very high ticket revenue. So for those, just to give context, I'm talking high ticket sales. I'm not talking about 1K, 3K, 5K, or any of that stuff, right? I'm talking like 15K, 25K, 35K, 50,000, 100,000, like real high ticket, right? That whole stuff of like, if you're closing like 1K to 2K to 3K packages or even 5K, like that's cool, but I don't consider that high ticket, right? Especially if you're in this group, like this whole group is about, B2B. Like B2C, yeah, that could be considered quote unquote high ticket, but in the B2B world, where the same amount of effort is required to close B2B as is B2C, high ticket is like actually very high ticket. So you get significantly rewarded being in very, very high ticket compared to B2C, where you're in the 1K to 3K range. And the effort's exactly the same. So why not just do B2B? It makes no sense to me. But so bottom of the barrel is a closer. Like you have the skill of only being able to go and close deals. So here's the caveat of that. If that is the limit of your skill and you can handle and you can just close deals, right? People can come in, you can deal with resistance, you can handle objections, you can close the deal. Cool, right? The company's happy and you'd be happy. But here's the downside to it, right? The whole purpose of this is I want to teach you guys how to increase your skill levels to get to different levels on the pedestal, and also increase your income. So for instance, I reached out to a lot of people on other closing teams that are top closers that I've trained over the past like 3 years, and they're making really good money. Some of them are making anywhere from $20,000 to $25,000 a month, and they're really trying to go up, and they've hit a limit. This is what happens in everyone's career when they're in just the closing aspect, right? Now, don't get me wrong, $20,000 a month is pretty fucking good for income, right? As a living. But naturally, as human beings, and if you're really competitive and you always want to grow and you have a growth mindset, everyone wants to go on and see how can I increase and get beyond those capabilities, right? So if you look at it, think of it as a closer, your limitation is there's only so many calls in a day that you can handle. Right. So let's say your calendar is blocked off and you can take calls for like 5 hours a day. Right. So just do the math. If you work Monday through Friday and you take calls, 5 times 5 is 25. So that means your capability maximum is 25 calls a week. Right. And then so 25 calls times an entire month is 100. So that's 100 calls for an entire month. Now, you and I both know in terms of like no show rate, what happens if somebody doesn't show up? Right. Industry standard, you're looking anywhere from 30 to 40%. So right off the bat, 40% of people aren't going to show up if you're lucky. So that means really reality in a month, 60 there. So, right. So the capabilities there is what do you do to scale your income? When your skill gets so good and you can create your closing ratio up to, like, I don't care if you're closing 50, 60, even 70%, which if they're, 70% of people being qualified is actually unrealistic, but no one talks about that either. You have a problem. You can't scale your income. There's only so much you can do. There's only so many calendar appointments that you can have in a day. So then at that point, what do? You have to add another skill to your arsenal, like period. Right. And now, so if I want to go to somebody and you have to understand from a business standpoint, what a lot of companies want when they're looking for people is, companies and businesses, they don't want people who are needy of just saying like, oh, like I was expecting it to be just qualified people and then booking on my calendar and stuff like, right. That's not as much of a valuable asset to a company. Now, which leads me to the next level, right? So how can you elevate to the point where you're getting paid higher commissions and be significantly valuable to a company, right? So closer is actually bottom of the pedestal. The next layer of above closer, I deem a sales professional, right? These are the people like, and just so you guys know, like sales professionals in the industry, these are the people who are making like, actually there's some professionals that make seven figures, but like if you look at the top sales companies out there, like Amazon, Salesforce, right? The behemoths, these big behemoth companies, their top sales professionals in their company earn more than some CEOs of other businesses, right? Being a CEO of their own company. Why? How is that possible? Why are they getting paid things like super significant salaries, a six-figure salary on top of commissions, and they're able to earn multiple six figures as a sales professional, right? But no one ever talks about that, right? We see these people who are making in these big companies, they're making significantly more money, and they're not quote unquote closers because they have more skills than closers do. A sales professional doesn't have to rely on just inbound, right? A sales professional is significantly more valuable to a company where they could get benefits and get salaries and still get commissions and earn more money than a closer, because a sales professional has the skill of being able to pick up the phone and call leads doing outbound, right? So that's kind of the next level of skill. So if you only have inbound and you're just quote unquote a closer, right, that's the limit of your capabilities in terms of income. Like you can only get so good at it, but you can't scale your income beyond that. A sales professional has the skill of the next level of being able to generate appointments at will, right? Being able to call and follow up, right? Most closers don't even have the skill set of, if somebody no shows, of what to do, right? Most closers don't have the drive and the hustle to want to be able to hit a goal for the month and go on and be like, okay, well, my calendar's not full. What do I do? Right? Go back to the past few months, pick up the freaking phone, reach out to every single person who didn't no show, reach out to every single person that's in your pipeline who was on the fence. What can we do to go and get them to move forward? Right? They have that hustle, that drive, and they have the skill set to be able to do so. Right? That's where sales professional comes in. A sales professional can actually go and book appointments at will. Right? That's the next level. Now, in the industry, this is what kind of grinds my gears. Is a lot of people will take things like as booking appointments and appointment setters, and they kind of put them at the bottom of the barrel, right? They think that like, oh, they're below closers. That's not true at all. Without people that can book appointments at will and having that skill set, right? There is nothing to close, right? So for a company in any business, especially in B2B, to be able to have those two skills combined of, hey, I can go and book appointments at will. I can go and follow up. I have the skill of being able to be on the phone and literally call somebody out of the blue and make it a normal conversation and still get the appointment and still get the sell. That one is significantly, that makes sales professionals are way more valuable than closers, period. Like, period. Significantly more valuable. So you want to be able to add on your arsenal of skills of closing. So, okay, we're not just inbound, but how do I get outbound? How can I deal with resistance? And how can I be comfortable on the phone and have the skill of tonality, right? And confidence, right? I'll tell you right now, sales professionals are significantly more confident than closers. Every sales professional I've ever met that's been in the industry a long time that has a skill of like doing things like outbound is like, it's not even the same spectrum. Okay. So there's a third pinnacle at the top. So we got closers, then you got sales professionals, right? Who has inbound and outbound, like, they're very viable asset. And there's one more at the top, right? So this is how, when people ask me, well, how in the world were you ever able to have companies pay you 50% or 100%? So there's another one. The top one is what people can elevate to, known as a producer. A producer can go to somebody with a skill or a company or anything. Like, let me give you an example. If you had the skill of producing, if I went to somebody that has a skill, whether it's like marketing or maybe it's like coaching on a specific industry, and I'd go to them and say, hey, listen, you're really good at what you do. You have all this credibility. Like, let's do this. How about, could you coach people outside? If I could sell this at high ticket for you, right? And all you have to do is just deal with the clients. All you have to do is just go and do what you do best as coach. And I'll bring the business. And in return, I'll give you half the money, right? We'll be 50-50 partners, right? Think about the amount of skills it takes and the value to a company to be able to do so. If you went to a company right now and you said, hey, listen, right? Let me give you the example, closer. Like, hey, I'll close your point, all your marketing efforts, everything you do, provide me with leads. I'll close them, pay me a commission, right? What's the company going to say? Okay, cool. Here's how much you're worth. You're worth about 10%, right? Sales professional. Hey, listen, I'll handle anything that comes in inbound, but I will also, if you have a list of leads, right, give them to me. I will pick up the phone and I will book appointments and I'll close my own damn deals, right? More valuable to a company, right? A producer can go to a company and say, hey, listen, I will find my own leads. I will do my own outreach. I'll do my own marketing efforts. You do nothing at all. And if I do that and I bring you business, which costs you nothing and zero effort to acquire, right? And going and building up a company, then then will you pay me a higher percentage, right? A producer is significantly more valuable to a company than a sales professional and also a closer, right? Because a producer has the skills of being able to go and find leads, generate appointments, and also close deals, right? And also, there's another layer to producer, right? Eventually, you get to the point where you can actually train. Producers can train people. Producers can build sales teams and plug other people into the process, right? So, for example, this month, one of my other clients, we literally were 6,000 short of revenue of hitting 100K a month from completely cold outbound in June, completely cold, like no ads, like nothing coming through from ad spend. Everything was literally cold calling people who have never heard of the company before, never heard of the brands, booking appointments, and I was able to organize and build a sales team and train them. And it took a lot of time to get up to that point. But because I was able to have the skill of running a team and training and doing outbound myself and closing deals and being able to handle a call and step in if I have to, I have all these abundance of skills. I've actually was able to elevate to the level of producer. Right. So I've had deals with people in the past where it's like, hey, they would come to me and be like, hey, listen, if you can go and find these people, I'll pay you a hefty amount. Right. So how was I able to get like 100%? Because some marketing companies that I've worked with in the past would have things like monthly retainers at high ticket, like 3K to 5K packages. And because I was able to go and I had the skill of like, cool, you do nothing, I'll just acquire the company for you. Right. They would pay me 100% on the front end where I would keep the first month, right? And then we'd have a deal on the back end. So I get to keep the first chunk of everything closed 100% on the front end because I acquired that customer for them. They did nothing. Right. That's how I was able to earn 50 half to big high ticket packages up to 100% of those because that business owner genuinely did not have to do anything. I was able to just go on, do my research, find businesses, reach out to them, do everything myself to go and acquire a customer. Think about it from this way too. If you think of things like affiliate marketing, right? People with big brands and businesses who can advertise for a SaaS product or another product, right? They already have a brand, right? So what will people do? They will pay them as an affiliate to promote their business, right? It's because people that have brands and people that have businesses and influence and all these things, they are producers. They have the audience. Some producers for affiliate offers will also spend money on traffic, right? Why will affiliate offers pay them anywhere from like 40% to 50% as an affiliate? Because that business did not have to do anything to generate traffic. The producers generated the traffic themselves. There's levels to the game, right? And the only way you're going to elevate and increase your income and get better over time is realizing that there's levels to the games and accept the fact that being a closer is the bottom of the pedestal. And this is what no one's going to go out there and tell you, because in reality, businesses, especially in B2B, they don't care about closers. They want sales professionals and producers, right? They want to partner with people who have an abundance of skills who aren't going to be limited, right? And if you ever do want to get to the point where, like, even if you go from closer to sales professional, that's okay, right? If you're a sales professional making multiple six figures or even seven figures a year with like these big companies, right? You're set. Some people don't want to elevate to the next level of producer. That's fine. But everyone's goal, especially in sales and high ticket, should be to strive to going from closer to sales professional, right? You want to at least be at the second tier. Everybody should be striving for that because now you're not going to be as limited for scaling your income. You're going to have a valuable skill to where you can go and still generate appointments for yourself at will, have the skill and confidence to go to follow up and make significantly more money than other closers out there in the industry, because most closers don't have that skill of doing things like outbound and generating appointments and everything, right? So I thought this would be valuable to share with you so you could be understanding of the different tiers. And so, like, okay, wherever I'm at, even if you're not even at the bottom yet and you're just kind of like new to this, also, if you're watching this and you have your own company and your own business, right? Maybe you're not even a sales position for somebody else. You still need to be thinking about this of like, okay, well, which level of skills do I have? Because when you start a business from day one, this is why entrepreneurship is hard, right? This is why when I first got into sales and I partnered with other companies and marketing companies, I didn't want to deal with clients. I didn't want to deal with tech. I didn't want to deal with ads. I didn't want to deal with marketing. I don't deal with any of that. I was like, hey, listen, I just want to talk to people. I just want to close the deal. And I don't want to have to interact with that person ever again. I don't want to have to help with that, that person with going and get results. Like I just wanted to do sales and just be rewarded for it and then get paid, make money. And then all the other stress of the other skills were off the table. Right. But most people will get into business and entrepreneurship and then like, oh shit, you have to have everything, right? You have to be a producer in entrepreneurship, period. You have to be able to generate appointments. You have to be able to close deals. You have to be able to do sales, right? You have to produce for a company, right? So, but the best thing, I think for me in life and business, going through the tiers the right way, right? Actually learning all these skills first is what helped me get to the point where I was ready to start building a brand, and then now getting into like social media, and now learning the skills of like marketing. Because before I just had no desire to do it, but I had all these other skills where I know I can sell, I know I can produce, I know I can generate appointments, right now. Marketing is going to be another thing to cap on, to be like an ultra producer, for anyone that ends up wanting to do like their own business, and to be able to go and scale your income, right? But regardless, producers make the most money. Like that is just a fact. That's just the reality. But if your goal is to make a significant income for you and your family, and you don't want to go on to like a significant, like top, very small percentage level of producer, you should strive to become a sales professional. So let me know your thoughts about this in the group. Go to the comments and let me know, where are you at right now, and what goal do you want to strive for? Is your goal just to be a closer? Are you wanting to strive to be a sales professional, making multiple six figures, sometimes even seven, depending on the company in the B2B space? Or is your goal to eventually evolve and become a producer? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you guys found this training valuable. We're going to be doing a lot more of these in live streams here in the group. And just like the kind of exclusive training I did last night, everyone loved it. So I'm thinking about maybe once a week or once a month, doing this more exclusive, where people will be invited to actually hop on to Zoom. We'll do things like Q&As, and we'll cover kind of like behind the scenes of what we're doing with our business, so that you guys can see the actual process of everything we're doing to hit these 100K months in revenue, completely cold traffic. A lot of people loved it and got value from it. And they also loved the fact that we were playing live calls. I'm a firm believer that in order to learn sales and see things, if you can actually like not only see the process, but hear it, right? Hear what they're saying in the calls, not only seeing the script, but like reviewing the script being done in action from our team. A lot of people loved it and got tons of value. So I figured I might put together like a VIP group, or not VIP group, but like a VIP list where people can come and get invited when we do these Zoom sessions and these trainings. And you guys, same thing, you guys can also submit calls over, and we'll review them to give as much value to you guys as possible to get you up to that level. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm excited to teach you guys a lot more stuff in the high ticket sales group. So hope everyone has a fantastic day.